A very good morning to all of you. You're watching Breakfast News. My name is Aditi Nagpal-Girotra. Let's take a look at the headlines first. Key bills including SPG Amendment Bill 2019 listed in Rajya Sabha, House likely to discuss merger of Union Territories Bill and Bill on regularization of Delhi's unauthorized colonies. Discussion under Rule 193 on crop loss and farmer issues likely in Lok Sabha, House to take up recycling of ships Bill 2019, Bill to effect reduction of corporate tax rates passed. Campaigning for second phase polls in Jharkhand, PM Modi to hold 2 rallies in Khunti and Jamshedpur. Congress, JMM and JVM leaders to address rallies. Filing of nominations for the 5th phase ends today. On the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, Vice President Naidu to confer national awards for outstanding efforts made towards their empowerment. NASA finds debris of Chandrayaan-2's Vikram lander on moon surface. Shows debris area through blue and green dots. Vikram hard landed within 500 meters of its scheduled location in September. Let's begin with a look at the legislative business in both houses of parliament slated for today. 3 bills are listed for consideration and passing in the upper house today. The Special Protection Group Amendment Bill 2019 will be moved for consideration and passing by Home Minister Amit Shah. The bill aims to further amend the Special Protection Group Act 1988. According to the amendment, the SPG will now protect the Prime Minister and members of his immediate family residing with him at his official residence. The bill was passed by the lower house last week. The Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu merger of Union Territories Bill 2019 will also be moved by Amit Shah. The bill aims to provide for merger of Union Territories of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. Bill on regularization of Delhi's unauthorized colonies for consideration and passing is also listed in the upper house. The National Capital Territory of Delhi Recognition of Property Rights of Residents in Unauthorized Colonies Bill 2019 was passed by the Lok Sabha last week. The bill, which grants ownership rights to residents living in Delhi's 1,731 unauthorized colonies, will be moved by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Now let's talk to our news correspondent Kriti, who is joining us live from the Parliament House. Kriti, what do we expect from the agenda of Rajya Sabha today?
Well, Aditi, yesterday we saw how Rajya Sabha passed the very important e-cigarettes banning bill that has on which the government had promulgated the ordinance. Now, this will replace the ordinance as far as today's agenda is concerned. Remember, 3 important bills are slated to be taken up by the upper house. There's SPG Amendment Bill that seeks to amend the SPG Act of 1988. There's also the merger of Union Territories of Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. Remember, these Union Territories are at a distance of 35 kilometers, and this particular bill is to ensure that there's effective administration of these 2 Union Territories and also to avert the duplication of works. There's another very crucial bill that would be taken up by the upper house, which is about the regularization of unauthorized colonies in NCT Delhi. Remember, this bill is expected to benefit around 40 lakh residents, and the digital mapping of around 600 such colonies that has already been completed. And by 31st of December, all unauthorized colonies, the digital mapping of all these unauthorized colonies would be completed. So this bill is also there to improve the physical infrastructure and also to improve the social amenities. So very important business as far as the upper house is concerned today. Over to you, Aditi.
Thank you, Kriti. We'll get back to you on the information for Lok Sabha. Let's move on with our next piece of news. Parliament on Monday passed a bill which prohibits production, trade, transport, storage and advertisement of electronic cigarettes in the country. The Prohibition of Electronic Cigarettes Bill 2019 was passed in Rajya Sabha by a voice vote. The bill was passed in Lok Sabha earlier this month. Replying on the bill, Health Minister Harshvardhan urged the House to pass the legislation unanimously in the larger interest of children.
Globally, smoking levels are on a decline due to the sustained tobacco control efforts of the whole world. Of course, India also is included. And then tobacco companies are facing a strict regulation in respect of combustible tobacco products. They are now venturing into these e-cigarettes to regain the market. Already over 16 states and union territories have banned the whole thing. The state governments have requested the Director General of Police to take necessary action for implementation of the ordinance.
The bill provides for imprisonment of up to 1 year or a fine of up to 1 lakh rupees or both to a first-time violator. For any subsequent offence, the crime will be punishable with an imprisonment of up to 3 years, along with a fine of up to 5 lakh rupees. While most members in the House supported the ban on e-cigarettes, some wanted to know why conventional cigarettes aren't banned, as they are equally or even more harmful.
ICMR का जो अभी रिसर्च आया और उन्होंने जो सलाह दी, उन्होंने भी ये कहा है, इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ मेडिकल रिसर्च ने भी 2019 में कि ई सिगरेट पूरी तरह से इंडिया में बैन होना चाहिए। ई सिगरेट का एडिक्शन ना हो, इसलिए इस बिल को दिमाग से तो है ही, लेकिन अपने दिल से सपोर्ट करें।
It is equally harmful for tobacco. Let us ban it. Let us ban it. So my point is, let ban e-cigarette, but at the same time, we must ban sir tobacco also, and all tobacco products we must also ban, sir.
If the center cares about the health of the Indians, why doesn't it ban cigarettes altogether? To save, finally, sir, my final point, to save the life of all Indians, I would urge the government to implement this ban effectively and immediately.
I now propose that totally a ban to these BDs as well as cigarettes will cause a major employment havoc in our state. So I need that has to be reconsidered, and also not for reconsidering, they have to reconsider for an alternative arrangement for their employment and prohibit the sale of e-cigarettes.
हमारी आपसे अपील कि खाली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिगरेट ही नहीं, आप टोटल टबैको कंजम्पशन को बैन करने की मेहरबानी करें, ये बहुत जरूरी है। और आपका नुकसान ज्यादा हो रहा है इस देश का। आपको रेवेन्यू मिलता है 30,000 करोड़ रुपया और 1,04,000 करोड़ रुपया खाली ट्रीटमेंट के मद में खर्च करना पड़ता है। ऐसे लोगों को फायदा कहां है?
In the legislative business in the Lok Sabha, the Recycling of Ships Bill 2019 is listed for consideration and passing. The bill seeks to regulate the recycling of ships as per international standards and laying down the statutory mechanism for enforcement of such standards. The bill was introduced in the lower house in this session. A discussion under the Rule 193 by Congress MP K. Suresh and Shiv Sena MP Gajanan Kirtikar on crop loss due to various reasons and its impact on farmers is also listed in today's agenda. Let's connect with Kriti, who's still live with us from Parliament House. Kriti, how shall we expect the day to pan out at Lok Sabha?
Well, Aditi, there's a very important discussion in the lower house under Rule 193 on the impact of farmers due to various reasons and the loss of crop of farmers. Remember, there has been unseasonal rainfall, there's damage to crops by wildlife, and also the members would be covering the aspects and the realms of also Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and the compensation to the farmers. So this is a very important discussion that is likely to take place in the lower house. There's another important bill, which is the recycling of ship bill. Remember, as far as recycling of ship is concerned, India is a global leader, accounting more than 30%. And in fact, there was a report in 2018 which said that in the year 2017, India recycled ship to the amount of around 6,000 tons. So that is a massive amount. So this bill ensures that recycling of ship is done in an environmentally friendly manner, and also it conforms to the norms of International Maritime Organization. This is another important bill that will be taken up in the lower house today. Aditi?
Thank you so much, Kriti. Moving on, Lok Sabha has passed the Taxation Law Amendment Bill 2019 to give effect to reduction in corporate tax. The bill replaces the ordinance for effecting reduction of corporate tax rates. Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2019 will amend the Income Tax Act 1961 and the Finance No. 2 Act 2019. Earlier this month, in the biggest reduction in 28 years, the government slashed corporate tax rates up to 10% points. Base corporate tax for existing companies is now reduced to 22% from 30%.
We had to come up quickly with the development globally being what it is, with the trade war between China and US creating a situation, with the emerging economies coming rapidly with changed taxation. We had to come in response, and therefore I didn't have to wait for the next budget. But now, the earliest opportunity that I have come with a bill to replace the ordinance, seeking all your support for a step which will make India a far more investment-friendly destination.
With this, we'll halt in for a quick breather, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us.
Three million people have now given the thumbs up to Rajya Sabha television. RSTV's growth has been phenomenal, with the journey from 2 million to 3 million being completed in less than 6 months. That's over 6,200 new subscribers every day. Our online viewers are engaging with us more actively. Every day, thousands like, share and comment on our videos. So come and join this growing tribe of RSTV viewers and get ready for an exciting journey.
Welcome back. You're still with us on Breakfast News. Vice President Naidu launched the new rotavirus vaccine designed and developed by Bharat Biotech in New Delhi. At the event, he urged healthcare practitioners, media and civil society to partner with the government in spreading awareness about vaccination and addressing apprehensions.
Every single child must benefit from such life-saving vaccines and have a joyful childhood and a fulfilling life. Unfortunately, there is a lot of wrong information about vaccination being spread, especially through sections of the social media. I urge the healthcare practitioners, to media and civil society to partner with the government in spreading awareness about vaccination and addressing the apprehensions.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu conferred the National Awards on individuals and institutions for outstanding achievements towards empowerment of persons with disabilities. The award is presented every year by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. This year's awards are being given under 14 categories. On International Day of Disabled Persons today, Vice President Naidu urged people to build a more inclusive and accessible world for the differently abled to help realize their true potential and experience fulfilling lives. Campaigning for the second and third phase has intensified. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address 2 election rallies in Jharkhand today. His first rally is scheduled at Birsa College in Khunti district at 11 a.m., while the second one is at 1 p.m. at Steel Maidan in Jamshedpur. Today is the last day of filing of nominations for 5th and last phase of state assembly elections. Polling would be held on 20th of this month in 16 constituencies spread over 6 districts. Scrutiny of nomination papers would be undertaken tomorrow, and the last date for withdrawal of candidature will be 6th of December. The 5-phase elections to the 81-member House will end on 20th December. Counting will take place on 23rd of December. Campaigning for the by-elections to 15 assembly constituencies in Karnataka ended on Monday. By-polls to 15 out of these 17 assembly seats, which fell vacant following the disqualification of MLAs, are scheduled on 5th December. Counting of votes will take place on 9th December. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has announced ban on exit polls from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. on 5th of December in view of state by-elections. Swedish King Carl XVI Gustaf on Monday held extensive talks with President Kovind. After talks between the King and President Kovind, the two sides inked 3 pacts providing for cooperation in polar science, innovation and research, and in maritime spheres. In his speech at the banquet hosted in honor of Swedish King and Queen Silvia at Rashtrapati Bhavan, the President said he was happy to note that India-Sweden bilateral trade and investment relations are gaining strength. President also said India's growth and potential in defense sector present significant opportunities for Swedish companies. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday held delegation-level talks with King Carl XVI Gustaf and Queen Silvia of Sweden in Delhi. During the meet, several issues of bilateral and mutual interest were discussed between the two leaders. Both leaders also chaired the India-Sweden high-level policy dialogue on innovation policy.
Research and innovation, science and technology किसी भी राष्ट्र के सशक्तिकरण के बेसिक टूल होते हैं। इसलिए भारत साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी इकोसिस्टम को और शक्तिशाली बनाने पर निरंतर काम कर रहा है। बीते कुछ वर्षों से जो कदम हमने उठाए हैं, उससे भारत ने इनोवेशन की दुनिया में अपनी स्थिति मजबूत की है। हमारे इन्हीं प्रयासों का परिणाम है कि बीते 3 साल में ग्लोबल इनोवेशन इंडेक्स में हम 81 से 52वें रैंक पर पहुंच गए हैं। आज भारत दुनिया का तीसरा सबसे सक्सेसफुल स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम बन चुका है। फ्रेंड्स, भारत में इनोवेशन सिस्टम को हम प्रोसेस ड्रिवन बनाने के बजाय पर्पस ड्रिवन बना रहे हैं।
NASA's moon-orbiting spacecraft has found the debris of Chandrayaan-2's lander Vikram on the surface of the moon. NASA released an image taken by its lunar reconnaissance orbiter, LRO, that showed the site of the spacecraft's impact and associated debris field on 6th of September. The Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter camera team released the first mosaic acquired on September 17th of the site on September 26th. Indian engineer Shanmuga Subramaniam contacted NASA's project, after which the US Space Agency confirmed the identification of debris by comparing before and after images. The November mosaic shows best the impact crater, ray and extensive debris field, and the 3 largest pieces of debris are each about 2 by 2 pixels and cast a 1 pixel shadow. Normal life was hit in several parts of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry amid constant downpour over the last few days. Rains has till now claimed 27 lives in Tamil Nadu, including 17 in a wall collapse incident. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister E. Palanisamy is scheduled to visit the rain-affected western districts today. As the northeast monsoon intensifies in the state, nearly 1,000 people have been accommodated in relief camps in Tuticorin, Kuddalur and Tirunelveli districts, which bore the brunt of rain fury. Time now for climate change news. United Nations 2-week summit on climate change, COP25, began on Monday in Madrid, Spain, with warnings over the fast-rising perils of a global environmental challenge. Addressing the Climate Vulnerable Forum at COP25, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said that the world risks sleepwalking past the point of no return unless immediate action is taken on climate change. More than 50 world leaders will participate in the summit, although one notable absentee will be US President Donald Trump, who announced his country's withdrawal from the 2015 Paris Agreement on climate change last year. India bagged 16 medals, including 5 gold, 8 silver and 3 bronze on the first day of the 13th South Asian Games. Adarsh MN Sinimol gave India the first gold medal by winning the men's individual triathlon event. In Taekwondo, India clinched 2 gold, 6 silver and 2 bronze medals. In today's matches, Indian men's volleyball team will clash with Pakistan in the finals today. And with this, it's a wrap on this edition of Breakfast News. Thank you so much for joining us.